We're delighted to have you here. We're in NC Free's Political Leadership Center here in downtown Raleigh. This is a live web broadcast. In addition to making this forum available live, it will also be available this afternoon on the website www.insurancefederationnc.com. Once again, insurancefederationnc.com. That's one word. So the candidates today, Wayne Goodwin and David Smith. First, Wayne Goodwin, by way of introduction, Richmond County, native of the town of Hamlet, and undergraduate degree from Chapel Hill, where he was a Morehead Scholar, and his degree, like his opponents, was in political science. Went on to get a law degree, currently serves as assistant insurance commissioner, assistant state fire marshal, served 4 terms in the North Carolina House, ran for labor commissioner in 2004, lost that race to Republican Cherie Berry, and soon after was appointed as assistant insurance commissioner. Has one daughter, Madison, and number 2 is on the way, likely in a couple of days, so good luck to you on that. He is the husband of Melanie Goodwin, a state representative, and if you want to know more about Wayne Goodwin, his website is waynegoodwin.org. That's one word, waynegoodwin.org. His challenger in the Democratic primary is David Smith, lives in Durham County, but a native of Banner Elk. Welcome. Once again, a degree from Chapel Hill, also in political science, graduate of the North Carolina School of Science and Math. He's an attorney, helps small businesses and individuals with the confusing web of insurance and benefit law. That's from his website. He is president-elect of the North Carolina Association of Health Underwriters. He served as policy and research advisor to Lieutenant Governor Dennis Wicker. He's the father of 2, Mary Catherine and Drew. And if you want to know more about David Smith, his website is electdavidsmith.com. All right, the rules. Each candidate will be given a 3-minute opening statement. By the flip of the coin, Wayne Goodwin will go first. Following the opening statements, I'll pose a question, and you'll each have 2 minutes to respond to that question, plus a 1-minute follow-up response. They will both be given a final 2 minutes for concluding remarks, with Goodwin going first, followed by Smith. All questions are from NC Free members. The candidates have not been given a copy of the questions, so these responses today will be spontaneous. There will be a 30-second warning as your time begins to run out, and I'll probably say you have 30 seconds, so expect that. Okay, 3-minute opening remarks. Once again, thank you so much for being here. This is such an important race. And we're just delighted that you would take the time to do it. Okay, 3 minutes opening remarks. Mr. Goodwin.
Thank you. My name is Wayne Goodwin, and I'm a candidate for Insurance Commissioner of North Carolina. I want to thank John and also NC Free for hosting this voter education forum this morning. I also want to congratulate and extend my thanks to the Insurance Federation for coordinating this. Throughout my public career, I've always been supportive of any efforts to educate voters, and NC Free has been a leading proponent of such, and I commend both organizations. You've heard some of my bio already, but in terms of what is important or most important for this race, I think it's important to understand the background I bring to this particular office if elected by the voters of the state. I have served in the legislature. I've worked with NC Free and on various issues, as other legislators do. We receive regular updates from them. Also, I've known Joe Stewart of the Insurance Federation for many years, going back to our Carolina days, and I don't think he'll share any stories about those days, but we do know each other very well. In addition to my legislative service, I think it's important to note that I'm already a member of the Department of Insurance as the Assistant Commissioner. As the Assistant Commissioner, in addition to advising and counseling Commissioner Long, I've drafted legislation. I've worked with government relations folks from the insurance industry and from the public and from others in helping to move us forward to ensure we meet that dual goal of a competitive, stable insurance market that's keeping up with the times, as well as ensuring low, reasonable, and fair rates. The issues that I believe are important in this race, and we'll talk about them more as we receive questions, in my opinion. One is that we need to have the best candidate who will serve as insurance commissioner that will focus on a stable insurance market that allows competition and allows the insurance companies to make a reasonable profit while ensuring we have reasonable and fair rates for businesses as well as for consumers. I also bring to the table the issue of fighting insurance fraud. As a member of the Department of Insurance, I already am part of the team that brings in millions of dollars a year in restitution as we crack down on insurance fraud. And that's important for businesses, so they're not ripped off by folks who are selling them false products here in this state. I also bring to the table a discussion that all of us have had in this race about the beach plan and about the reinsurance facility. Bad drivers need to pay rates that accurately reflect their risk. Good drivers need to pay better rates. We need to have stronger and better and deeper reserves in the beach plan to protect us whenever we have the next hurricane, and we will.
Yeah,
thanks, sir. There are many other issues that we could focus on. As the Assistant Commissioner of Insurance, I'm already working on these things. And like anybody in business knows, you want to start from day one in this office. I ask for folks' vote. There's a stark choice in this race. It's the first time in a quarter century we'll have a new insurance commissioner. I'm Wayne Goodwin. I ask for your vote.
David Smith, 3 minutes.
Thanks, John, and thanks to NC3 and the Insurance Federation for hosting this. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to speak to people in the room and around the state about this race and my candidacy. My experience in this job is diverse. I started 16 years ago working within the Lieutenant Governor's office to start addressing the issues of small businesses buying health insurance in North Carolina. And those issues were critical at that point in time because there was no stability in the market, a number of carriers, and the inability to really have any predictability. At that point in time, we passed important legislation, and I got my first real exposure to the Department of Insurance. I've been committed to the idea that North Carolina can do better in a lot of ways as we work forward in the next few years. We're a state of 9 million people, and we've got to have an insurance department that's ready to tackle the real issues that are facing the state. I believe, more importantly, that my perspective of both working inside of the industry for about 5 years, while I was going to law school at night, I was working during the day. That exposure, in my mind, makes me a stronger candidate because I actually understand how the insurance industry works, but it also lets me be more prepared as a consumer advocate, as I've done for the last 7 years, to be able to actually work within the industry to get things done. For the last 7 years, what I've done is I've worked with small businesses, individuals around the state of North Carolina who fundamentally don't understand what the insurance industry does or how the insurance system works for them. And that perspective of working for consumers is an important distinction. It's not a matter of working for the government. It's about actually hands-on helping people who have real problems. I'm always reminded of a woman who called me a year ago with a claim issue that she couldn't get help from the department. She couldn't get help from anywhere else. Called me, spent an hour on the phone with the carrier, and let her get the breast cancer treatment that she wanted rather than having it denied as being too experimental. I think that kind of hands-on experience is an important perspective. But as I run into this race, I think that experience is important, but I also think that leadership in the commissioner's office requires ideas. And I've talked about comprehensive, concrete ideas as we prepare to run in this race. To me, the most critical issue facing us is the number of uninsured people in North Carolina, the number of people without health insurance. It's almost 1.5 million people, and it's a crisis. And the crisis is the kind of thing that we have to do something about now. That means the commissioner has to be both a watchdog over the industry to make sure they're doing what they need to do, but also that they're going to have an advocate for the kinds of reforms that we need. 30 seconds, thank you. And I also believe that that's an important issue for business and individuals throughout the state because there's a study out this morning saying that there's a 50% increase in the amount of uninsured costs by hospitals in the state. If we don't address the number of uninsured in our state, and that's a job the Commissioner of Insurance should be doing, we will have a bigger problem. My name is David Smith. My website is electdavidsmith.com. Please don't Google my name. You'll probably get too many responses. But I would appreciate your vote and look forward to the questions from you today, John.
Thank you so much.